Tomo News presents Epic Car Crashes.
Too tired to drive, teen falls asleep at the wheel, kills a mom. Scientific research has already proven that driving tired can be just as dangerous as driving drunk. In Taiwan, a 19-year-old man identified by his last name Huang attempted to test this fact in person. Huang was driving back early in the morning after a night out and fell asleep at the wheel of the car. The sedan crashed into a small food truck serving breakfast, which was parked on the side of the road. A 36-year-old mother buying breakfast for her family was struck and sent flying to the other side of the intersection. She died before paramedics arrived. The owner of the food truck and 2 other customers were injured in the crash. Police tested Huang for drinking, but when his blood alcohol level registered as 0, they assumed he'd fallen asleep at the wheel. Huang was also unable to recall anything about the crash other than waking up in the wreckage of his car. Huang has been charged with manslaughter and reckless driving.
Dutchman tries to jump car over retracting bridge and fails. A Dutchman somehow survived after he tried to jump his car across a retractable bridge and failed miserably. Police said the 56-year-old driver raced his car underneath the arm of the security barrier before attempting his Thelma and Louise jump. Unfortunately for Speed Racer, he misjudged the gap, his speed, and basically all of Newton's laws. Those are just some numbers, so he went for it. And thank God for us, he failed epically. His car plummeted into the river below, but luckily he was able to escape in time. Almost made it out unharmed, but then he fell onto a concrete barrier while trying to get out of the water. The man ended up breaking a few ribs and puncturing his lung. The bridge was closed for several hours while crews winched his car out of the river. As for those in the Twitter sphere, looks like the Australians enjoyed this video.
92-year-old man crashes into 9 cars, like a boss. You are about to witness one of the best arguments against elderly people retaining their license until they're either blind or dead. Watch 92-year-old Russell Kerr as he backs out of his parking stall in the blue-gray minivan. Okay, so far so good. Now get ready to count with me. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Oh, we've got some speed going now. 7, and that might have been 8. 9 cars in total were damaged by the insure-fueled driver who was finally stopped at the site of a subsequent crash. Police believe Kerr panicked as he drove through the Piggly Wiggly parking lot in Mayville, Wisconsin. They deemed it to be an accident and chose not to cite the man. The Wisconsin Department of Motor Vehicles may review Kerr's license, but for now, he's legal to drive. We all know that old people have trouble controlling their gas, but this dude just took that problem to the next level.
Driver appears to walk away unscathed after Range Rover flies off of overpass.
Florida State tight end Nick O'Leary, grandson of legendary golfer Jack Nicklaus, has delivered a massive up yours to death after not only surviving this horror motorcycle accident, but walking away. Ooh, wow. It happened back on May 2. A bus was letting off passengers on Mission Road in Tallahassee as O'Leary was coming in the other direction. The bus paused at a stop to let off a kid, and the onboard camera captured the incredible moment. A black Lexus began to turn into the next lane without right of way, but O'Leary was going too fast. He smashed into the front of the car and went airborne. His motorbike totaled the bus windshield. He then skidded some 75 to 100 feet parallel to the bus. Witnesses then saw him pick himself up and walk to the side of the road. He was reportedly taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The Lexus driver was cited as causing the crash.
How in the world did this guy walk away from this crash with just 2 band-aids on his finger? Caleb Whitby was on his way to Council City, Idaho Saturday morning when he was caught in a 26-vehicle pileup, most of them semi-trucks, on an icy Interstate 84 about 33 miles east of Baker City, Oregon. Whitby drove through the fog and over patches of black ice with caution. He decided against passing a semi on an uphill curve. Whitby lost sight of the semi around the turn, and when he spotted it again, it was jackknifed across I-84. He swerved right but couldn't avoid smashing into the back end of the trailer. His Silverado then stalled in the middle of the road as another semi approached. Whitby wondered if this was it. Sergei Karpyuk, the driver of the oncoming semi, saw the disaster ahead and swerved left into the guardrail. The 18-wheelers crushed the Chevy like a tin can, but amazingly, Whitby only required 2 band-aids on his right ring finger and an ice pack over his left eye. 4 people were transported to local hospitals for injuries, but fortunately, no fatalities resulted.
Watch what happens when one forgets to lower one's dump truck bed.
How did this happen? Car lands on wall in Los Angeles. Yes, these photos were taken in LA, but no, they're not scenes from the latest blockbuster film. On Sunday evening, a silver Cadillac was spotted hanging from the wall of a busy LA street. Local media picked up the story after spectators tweeted pictures of the crash scene. How on earth did this car get up there, you might ask? According to reports, the car skidded up the concrete retaining wall after losing control. In skateboarding, a maneuver like this is called a grind, but we think the driver was trying one of these GTA-style stunt jumps. Thankfully, neither the driver nor the passenger were injured in the crash. By the look on his face, this guy was not impressed. So how do you think this car became perched on the ledge? Leave your theory in the comment section below.
Train spotters capture tragic train-on-car collision. A day of train spotting for these 2 men turned into witnessing a tragedy when they captured a deadly train wreck on video. On the outskirts of Louisville, Kentucky, around 4 p.m. last Saturday, a Union Pacific freight train was on the move, hauling 100 rail cars stretching about 3/4 of a mile long. It was moving at around 60 miles an hour as it headed toward the Bouchelle Avenue crossing, where a few train spotters were taking video of the trains on the line that day. At that same moment, a white Toyota Camry with 4 young Bhutanese men coming from soccer practice was heading towards the crossing. Even though the crossing bells and lights were working, the driver proceeded through the junction. 2 passengers, 16-year-old Chita Chuan and 19-year-old Sukman Rai, were killed at the scene after the car was dragged a half a mile down the tracks. The driver and another passenger, whose identities are being withheld, are listed in critical condition.
Incredible video captures massive multi-vehicle pile-up on frozen highway. Dozens of people and commercial vehicles were involved in a horrifying series of collisions on Thursday, April 16. This footage was recorded by a driver who could do nothing but watch as the carnage unfolded. As each of the giant road trains glided quietly in one after another, so came the crunch of each collision. People can be heard frantically trying to warn other incoming vehicles, but to no avail. According to Wyoming Highway Patrol, a combination of reckless driving and the strong blizzard caused the first two vehicles to lose control, leading to the pileup. Another witness recorded this footage of the aftermath. An estimated 45 vehicles were involved in total. A reported 27 people were wounded, with 6 critically.
This is crazy. I know the dumb son of a bitch just caused this.
Fortunately, no one is reported to have died.
High-speed crash in Taiwan sees driver thrown from car window. This was the moment that the driver of the dark-colored hatchback on the right tried to overtake another vehicle in Taichung City, Taiwan last Saturday. The driver, known only as Lu, lost control of the vehicle though, and the car hit the metal barrier on the right side of the road. The moment the car hit the metal, Lu was flung from the driver's seat and soared across 3 lanes. We don't see him land, but it's obvious it wasn't pretty. As he lands off screen, his vehicle continued to spin in the road. Lu was taken to a hospital but died later that day from a severely fractured skull and a cerebral hemorrhage. He was 25.
Idiot fails to safely pass truck. Gets squished. Parallel park driver opens door, almost kills 2 on scooter. In Taoyuan City in the north of Taiwan, a driver identified by his last name Wang had parked his car on the side of the road. Without checking his rearview mirrors or bothering to take a quick look with his own eyes, he flings open the driver's side door, right into the path of a passing scooter. The scene that follows is made much more terrifying by the screams of the woman inside the car with the dash cam. The driver, a 23-year-old named surnamed Yang, and his passenger, a 21-year-old woman surnamed Liao, were flung directly into the path of 2 cars following close behind. Amazingly, despite being run over, both scooter riders survived. The man, Mr. Yang, has been hospitalized with a broken left arm and 2 broken legs. The woman, Ms. Liao, was also hospitalized with minor internal bleeding and severe road rash. Both of them have been released from critical care and are expected to make full recoveries. This goes to show that a little road safety and etiquette can go a long way, so use your mirrors before getting out of your car.
Woman smashes Jeep through LA donut shop, kills homeless man. Police in Los Angeles are investigating a strange car crash at a donut shop that left 1 man dead and at least 4 others in critical condition. A security camera at Canoga Park's Jolly Donuts caught this Jeep Liberty smashing through the store door and driving clear out the other side. The driver, 42-year-old Kirsten Chang, was in her car near the DeSoto Avenue shop around 9:30 Saturday night. 6 people were inside the donut shop at the time, including a homeless man who was reportedly a regular at the store. Police say it's possible Kirsten mistook the accelerator for the brake when she smashed through the side door, hitting the homeless man and destroying everything in her path. But Kirsten's foot stayed on the accelerator. She came to a stop only after crashing through the shop's front door. The homeless man was pronounced dead at the scene, and 5 others were taken to the hospital. At least 4 people were listed as being in critical condition. Police say Kirsten was not under the influence at the time of the accident. They have not yet said whether she will face charges for the crash.
Scam artist gets run over while faking a car accident. Pretending to be hit by a car might best be left to actors in movies. Real-life scammers run the risk of being beaten up or injured by their targets. An incident took place in Seoul, Korea that left 1 scam artist screaming in pain. As a car moved slowly through an intersection, a man approached on foot and acted as if he'd been hit by the vehicle, falling to the ground. The woman behind the wheel didn't seem to notice the man and continued forward. It wasn't until other drivers sounded their horns that she stopped her vehicle. The man can be heard screaming in the dashcam footage.